The hard hats and high-vis jackets of politicians offering their solutions to the housing crisis have been a bit of a feature of this election campaign, but many voters remain to be convinced, especially those who can't afford a place of their own, rented or bought. Housing is in the top 5 biggest election issues, according to pollsters, and when you see the difficulties and the desperation the crisis can cause, it is little wonder.
Lucy's hands are full, and so is this house. It's not hers, but her mum and dad's.
Born and bred.
Born and bred. So born and bred in Frome?
Yeah.
She's 35 with 2 kids and a partner, and they're living back in the home in Somerset she grew up in. They both work. Lucy in a supermarket, her partner in construction, but cannot afford anywhere.
At the moment, Frome prices are just beyond a joke.
It wasn't like that growing up then?
No. Our plan was always to save up for a mortgage and buy, but it's just a pipe dream now.
So you just can't afford to rent here?
No. I mean, if I looked on Rightmove, the first one that come up was £1,200.
Okay.
£1,300. It's crazy money. I don't earn that much. I'm stuck.
Behind the quaint, there is a crisis in Frome.
Frome Town Council should declare a housing crisis.
Last year, the council raised the alarm after average rents hit £1,500 per month, over 50% of the average salary. They desperately need affordable housing here, but there's a battle on. Plans by private developers to build 1,700 homes on this beauty spot has met fierce opposition, although no one here wants to be called a NIMBY. Not in my backyard.
It will be all the way from over there, right from the tree line over there. It will cover the whole of these fields.
Harold, Lolly and Tina are running a campaign opposing the scheme, which promises to provide 500 affordable and social homes, a promise they don't believe.
So you wouldn't call yourself NIMBYs?
Definitely not.
I've lived here for nearly 40 years and I don't want to see it ruined by this massive parasite on the edge of town.
There's no guarantee that it's the affordable homes, that the starter homes, something that might one day be within my price range.
We all appreciate that houses are needed, but houses of a certain type. Build lots of council houses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The right kind
So
of
if this was 1,700 council houses, would you be okay with it?
I still think that's too many.
Reservation.
Power ultimately lies with planning teams in local councils, but approval for new homes is falling across Britain by 28% since 2019 and by almost 30% in the southwest.
We can guarantee there'll be 510 affordable homes on this site that come forward.
James is the man trying to build the 1,700 homes on this site. So far he's spent 3 years and £2 million going through planning with no answer.
It is frustrating. Frome's been delivering 24 affordable homes per year.
24?
24 affordable homes per year over the last 17 years. We go to these public consultations. The people that don't want housing, that live in a house, will turn up and be quite vocal. It takes a very brave person to turn up within that sort of environment and say, I want housing.
Do you think the current planning system is fit for purpose, that it's dealing with the urgency of this crisis?
I think these policies are more political than focused on what we really need to do in the country and build and deliver houses.
Behind every door is a story of success and of struggle, but too many are locked out, priced out, and the cost is counted in lives left in limbo.
Daniel's snapshot of the issue, and he's here with us now to explain the scale of the crisis and talk us through, Daniel, what the main parties are proposing to do about it.
That's right, Julie. It's not a controversial statement to say the country is facing a housing crisis. It is a devolved issue in the UK, and so in our focus on housing tonight, we will focus on England, where the crisis is particularly acute. Now, all the main parties agree we need to build more homes. Labour and the Conservatives have set a target of building at least 300,000 a year over the next 5 years. Now, for context, the last time that was achieved was 1977. Now, the Tories want to focus on building on brownfield sites, which means previously developed land, and urban areas like disused offices and retail spaces. Now, the Labour leader says he's a YIMBY, yes in my backyard, and would scrap planning red tape to get Britain building. Labour would not only build on brownfield, but also on parts of the green belt, what they call the grey belt, not designated areas of natural beauty, but poor quality land like car parks and wasteland. Now remember, 1977 was the last time that 300,000 homes were built. That was because England was still building lots of council housing. Now there is a chronic shortage of social homes as we've sold them off without replacing them, and homelessness is soaring. Charities say we need to build at least 90,000 a year to meet demand. All the main parties say they would build more social homes, but only the Lib Dems and the Green Party have put a figure on it. They will deliver, they say, 150,000 a year. Then there's private renters. The Tory government had promised to ban no-fault evictions, known as Section 21, but failed to do so. The reforms were also watered down to give more rights to landlords. Labour, the Lib Dems and the Greens also say they would ban no-fault evictions. The Greens would go further. They would bring in rent controls to cap ever-rising rental costs. Reform UK would keep no-fault evictions, giving landlords more rights, and they say prioritise the British people for social housing. Julie, housing is a huge issue. We know it is. It's not being talked about a lot at this election. Whoever does form the next government has an enormous challenge on their hands.